Before we go into this, I have to say this. This is not legal advice in any way. This is just for informational purposes only. We are pest control experts. I'm not an attorney, so you should consult with one who knows this subject better than me and knows the exact laws in your areas. Also, if you're in tune with technology, just know that ChatGPT could also help you figure out possible options. But again, please always refer to an accredited professional in this issue. The purpose of this video is so that you know what to look up and what questions to ask that can get you out of the situation I'm sure you're dreading right now. If you've been battling an insect infestation in your apartment, know that you have rights. When you signed your lease, both you and the landlord agreed to certain standards. That's the purpose of the contract. Often you'll find in that contract that the landlord is required to provide pest control services, especially if they don't allow you to do your own pest control. Understanding your legal rights is crucial when dealing with persistent pest problems. What you want to learn about is the landlord-tenant law. So here's what you need to know. Implied warranty of habitation. Most states have laws that require landlords to maintain livable conditions, including keeping the property free from pest infestations. This is often called the implied warranty of habitability. Local health codes. Many cities and counties have specific health codes that address pest control in rental properties. Look up your local health department's website for information on these codes. Lease agreements. Review your lease carefully. Many leases include clauses about pest control responsibility. Even if it's not explicitly stated, the landlord is typically responsible for pest control in multi-unit buildings. Documentation is key. Keep detailed records of all pest sightings, communications with your landlord, and any treatments performed. This documentation can be crucial if legal action becomes necessary. Written notice. Always provide written notice to your landlord about the pest problem. Send this via certified mail or email to create a paper trail. Repair and deduct laws. Some states have repair and deduct laws that allow tenants to hire pest control services and deduct the cost from their rent if the landlord fails to address the issue. However, strict procedures must be followed, so research your state's specific laws before taking this action. Rent escrow. In some jurisdictions, tenants can withhold rent by paying it into an escrow account until the landlord addresses the pest problem. This is a serious step that requires following specific legal procedures. Breaking the lease. If the roach infestation makes the apartment uninhabitable and the landlord refuses to address it, you may have grounds to break your lease without penalty. Consult with a local tenant rights organization before taking this step. Small claims court. If you've incurred expenses due to pest problems like replacing damaged property, you might be able to sue your landlord in small claims court for compensation. Fair Housing Act. If you believe you're being treated differently regarding pest control due to your race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, or disability, you may have a case under the Fair Housing Act. Resources to look up. State tenant rights. Search your state tenant's rights to find specific information. Local housing authorities. They often have resources on tenant rights and can sometimes intervene in disputes. Legal aid organizations. Many areas have legal aid societies that provide free or low-cost legal advice to tenants. HUD.gov. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website has information on tenants' rights and fair housing laws. National Housing Law Project, NHLP.org, offers resources on housing rights. Local tenant unions or associations. These organizations often provide advice or support for dealing with landlord-tenant issues. State Attorney General's offices. Many have sections dedicated to landlord-tenant law. If the situation becomes untenable, consider consulting with a local attorney who specializes in landlord-tenant law. Many offer free initial consultations where you can can get advice on your specific situation. Dealing with roaches in an apartment complex can be frustrating, but you're not powerless. Taking these steps and being proactive can significantly improve your success at solving the problem. At Gillen Pest Control, we specialize in tackling tough pest problems, including those in multi-unit dwellings. If you're at your wit's end with roaches, don't hesitate to reach out for our professional pest control help.